Smart dust refers to microscopic sensors capable of wirelessly monitoring and reporting on their environment, raising intriguing possibilities and concerns. Some theorists believe smart dust has already been covertly deployed by governments or corporations for mass surveillance. The idea of invisible airborne sensors taps into fears of omnipresent monitoring and loss of privacy in the digital age. Proponents of these theories point to unexplained respiratory illnesses as potential evidence of smart dust inhalation. Some speculate that chemtrails, often dismissed as ordinary contrails, could be a means of distributing smart dust over populated areas. The concept of smart dust aligns with concerns about the Internet of Things and the increasing interconnectedness of everyday objects. Theorists suggest smart dust could be used for mind control, manipulating thoughts or behavior through undetectable neurointerfaces. Others propose smart dust as a tool for weather manipulation, allowing covert climate engineering on a massive scale. Some believe smart dust could be used to track individuals' movements and interactions without their knowledge or consent. Theories exist about smart dust being used to create digital twins of people, mapping their habits and predicting their actions. The potential for smart dust to interact with the human body on a cellular level fuels speculation about secret medical experiments. Conspiracy theorists sometimes link smart dust to the implementation of a social credit system for population control. The difficulty in detecting or proving the existence of smart dust adds to its mystique in conspiracy circles. Some view smart dust as a stepping stone towards transhumanism, blurring the line between human and machine. Proponents of these theories often cite advancements in nanotechnology as evidence that smart dust is more than science fiction. Smithsonian suppression refers to the theory that the Smithsonian institution actively conceals or destroys archaeological evidence that contradicts mainstream historical narratives. Proponents argue that artifacts suggesting ancient advanced civilizations or giant humanoid races have been hidden from public view. Some claim that 19th and early 20th century newspaper reports of giant skeletal remains being sent to the Smithsonian, which subsequently vanished, support this theory. Theorists point to the vast size of the Smithsonian's archives, suggesting that only a fraction of their collection is ever displayed publicly. The institution's close ties to the US government are cited as a potential motive for controlling information that could reshape historical understanding. Supporters of the theory argue that maintaining conventional historical timelines is crucial for upholding current power structures and belief systems. Some researchers claim to have encountered unusual resistance or bureaucratic obstacles when attempting to access certain Smithsonian records or collections. The alleged suppression is sometimes linked to protecting the interests of religious institutions by hiding evidence that might contradict biblical timelines. Theorists suggest that advanced ancient technologies, if revealed, could disrupt current economic systems built around energy and manufacturing. Skeptics who become believers often cite their own experiences of seeing artifacts in the field that don't align with official reports or displays. Solar disk theory proposes that the sun is not a gaseous sphere as commonly believed, but rather a flat, disk-like object. Proponents argue that the sun's appearance from Earth is more consistent with a flat, circular shape than a spherical one. They claim that the uniform brightness across the sun's visible surface suggests a flat structure rather than a curved one, which would show limb darkening. Some adherents point to ancient depictions of the sun as a disk in various cultures, as evidence that our ancestors understood its true nature. The theory often incorporates the idea that the sun is much closer to Earth than mainstream science claims, potentially only a few thousand miles away. Supporters argue that solar flares and prominences are more logically explained by electrical phenomena on a flat surface than by magnetic processes on a sphere. Some theorists suggest that the sun's disk is a portal or gateway to other dimensions, explaining phenomena like coronal mass ejections. Proponents claim that NASA and other space agencies manipulate images of the sun to maintain the spherical model, citing alleged inconsistencies in solar observatory data. The solar disk concept is sometimes linked to broader alternative cosmologies, such as the flat Earth theory or the electric universe model. Advocates argue that accepting the solar disk theory could lead to breakthroughs in energy production, as it challenges conventional understanding of solar physics. Solipsism is the philosophical idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist. This theory posits that the external world and other minds might not be real, but rather creations of one's own consciousness. Proponents argue that since all experiences are filtered through an individual's mind, there's no way to prove anything exists outside of it. Some solipsists believe that they are the only conscious being in existence, with everything else being a projection or simulation of their mind. The theory draws support from the fact that our perception of reality can be altered by drugs, mental illness, or sensory deprivation. Advocates point to phenomena like dreams and hallucinations as evidence that the mind can create convincing realities indistinguishable from waking life. Solipsism aligns with certain interpretations of quantum mechanics, which suggest that observation plays a role in determining reality. Some proponents argue that solipsism explains the hard problem of consciousness and why we can't directly experience others' subjective experiences. The theory has been linked to simulation hypotheses, suggesting that the perceived world could be a complex mental construct or computer simulation. Solipsists often cite the philosophical problem of other minds, which questions how one can be certain that other beings have consciousness. Soul healing refers to the practice of addressing and resolving spiritual or energetic imbalances to promote overall well-being and personal growth. Practitioners believe that emotional traumas, negative experiences, and spiritual disconnection can create wounds or blockages in the soul. This theory posits that physical and mental health issues often stem from unresolved soul-level disturbances. Proponents claim that soul healing can access past lives, ancestral traumas, and karmic patterns to resolve deep-seated issues. Some practitioners report sensing or seeing energy fields around individuals, which they interpret as manifestations of soul conditions. The concept of soul retrieval, where fragmented parts of the soul are believed to be reclaimed, is a key component of many soul healing practices. Advocates often cite cases of spontaneous remission or unexplained healings as evidence of the soul's influence on physical health. Quantum entanglement theory is sometimes invoked to explain how soul healing can work across distances or even through time. Some soul healers claim to channel universal energy or communicate with spiritual entities to facilitate the healing process. Proponents argue that the effectiveness of placebos in medical treatments supports the idea that belief and spiritual factors play a significant role in healing. Source code for the human brain refers to the theoretical underlying programming or instructions that govern the functioning of human consciousness and cognition. Proponents of this concept believe that the brain operates on principles similar to a computer, with a complex set of algorithms and data structures. Some researchers argue that unlocking this source code could lead to advancements in artificial intelligence, effectively allowing us to replicate human-like consciousness in machines. The theory draws parallels between neural networks in the brain and the architecture of advanced computer systems, suggesting a fundamental similarity in their operational principles. Advocates point to the field of neuro-linguistic programming as evidence that the brain can be reprogrammed, implying the existence of an underlying code. Some theorists propose that this source code might be quantum in nature, explaining phenomena like intuition and the seemingly instantaneous processing of vast amounts of information. Proponents suggest that certain altered states of consciousness, such as those induced by meditation or psychedelics, might allow glimpses into this underlying code. The concept is sometimes linked to ideas of a cosmic or universal consciousness, with individual human brains seen as instances of a larger, overarching program. Some researchers in the field of optogenetics claim that their ability to control neural activity with light supports the idea of a programmable brain. Advocates argue that understanding this source code could potentially lead to cures for mental illnesses, enhanced cognitive abilities, and even the possibility of consciousness transfer. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. The left link takes you to more clips like this. The right link takes you to the full episodes these are from. Thanks for watching.